Education Task Force, and it is our final meeting. We will be presenting our findings and our recommendations. Can we go ahead and get our roll call started?
Senator Schroeder, Senator Thomas, Senator Wilson, here. Representative Bowling,
Here.
Representative Raymond,
Here.
Representative Sharp, Co-Chair Carroll,
Here.
Co-Chair Heverin.
Present. Okay, I need approval of the meeting minutes from the November 3rd meeting. Can I get a motion? Second. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? All right, the minutes have been approved, and we'll now go into the discussion and approval of task force findings and recommendations. So first off, we'll start with our, well, let me first say this has been a great task force opportunity, and we appreciate everyone in the room and those watching on KET for the opportunity to engage with Senator Carroll and I as we go through and learn more about the early childhood education process and what we need to do as a Commonwealth to help further early childhood education as a legislature. And so we'll present our finding first, and then we'll go into our recommendations. So I will give it to Co-Chair Carroll to start off with number 1.
Okay, the first finding addresses the childcare deserts across the state, and it's simply a fact that these do exist across the Commonwealth, and there's a demonstrated need to expand childcare services through providers of all types.
Number 2, there are 5 pillars to early childhood education in Kentucky: HANDS, First Steps, Head Start, Head Start, public pre-kindergarten, and independent child care providers.
Number 3, in Kentucky, there are roughly 2 open jobs for every individual seeking a job. This puts a strain on the employers trying to fill open positions.
Number 4, child care availability in Kentucky affects a person's decision to enter the workforce.
Number 5, the Kentucky Child Care Assistance Program, known as CCAP, is a key tool in early childhood education program funding.
House Bill 499 from the... what a cluster today. Okay. House Bill 499 from the 2022 regular session created a pilot program for an employee child care assistance partnership to incentivize employers to contribute to the child care cost of employees.
Number 7, child care worker shortages lead to lack of adequate child care in Kentucky.
And last but not least, nationally, several states have policies that encourage collaboration and coordination across different agencies to align rules, processes, and funding requirements. 13 states have a governance structure of consolidation that combines existing programs and divisions into one state agency. The final approach, used in 8 states, is the creation of a dedicated early childhood agency that reports directly to the governor's office. Okay. So do any members have any questions or comment on those findings? Representative Raymond?
Yeah, I just want to thank the chair people for running a really incredible task force, I think, and bringing everybody together. I don't disagree with any of these findings, and we've shown here that childcare is extremely important to society at large and to families. I might just suggest that we add a 9th, which is that high-quality play-based childcare from qualified providers is extremely good for kids. And we know that when we offer that service to kids, it not only prepares them for kindergarten, but prepares them for life and increases outcomes over the course of their life. And I just don't want people to think that we're doing this for everybody but the kids, when that's, of course, our number 1 concern.
Do you have that written down?
We're going to take a slight break for just a second. Please don't leave us. We'll be back to regular programming in a quick moment. Okay, we do have a proposed amendment by Representative Raymond. If she'll read it word for word, we will get that approved by voice vote to make an amendment to the current
Yes, thank you.
recommendations.
I propose to add this language as a ninth finding of this task force. High-quality childcare provided by trained providers is beneficial for the academic and social development of children.
Second the motion.
Okay, all in favor of adding this finding to the memo, please vote aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion approved to amend the findings to add a ninth finding, word for word, from Representative Raymond. Next step will be, do we need to approve all of the findings? Okay, now I need a motion to approve the findings as amended.
So moved.
Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, all findings have been approved with the amended number 9. Okay. This is a learning experience for all of us. All right, now on to recommendations. Senator Carroll, you start us off.
Recommendation number 1, increase childcare access and quality for working families by supporting employer engagement in childcare solutions and to ensure successful implementation of the Employee Child Care Assistance Partnership that was established in House Bill 499 from the 2022 regular session that will include partnerships with the Cabinet of Health and Family Services and economic development organizations throughout the Commonwealth.
Okay, number 2. Encourage the Cabinet for Health and Family Services to utilize the Child Care Assistance Program for providing eligibility for child care workers, providing a transitional period for families exiting the program in order to address the benefits cliff, establishing a cost modeling method to set CCAP provider reimbursement rates based on the true cost of quality care, and sustaining current CCAP eligibility, that's added, standards established by administrative regulation.
Okay, number 3, encourage the Kentucky Department of Education to expand the capacity for early Head Start, public pre-K, and other public-private partnerships.
Number 4, encourage the Cabinet for Health and Family Services to establish child care worker wage enhancement programs childcare business coaching programs, and employee continuing education and certification support programs that include the development of post-secondary education programs and early childhood education ownership and entrepreneurship.
Number 5, encourage the Kentucky League of Cities, the Kentucky Association of Counties, and the Kentucky Department of Local Government to study and formalize zoning and land use regulations to facilitate the growth of child care services while continuing to ensure safety, appropriate land use rules, and local control.
Number 6, direct the Division of Child Care in collaboration with the Department of Revenue and the Cabinet for Economic Development to raise awareness of and address issues related to state and federal tax laws, including tax incentives that affect child care facilities and employer-based child care benefits in the Commonwealth. Are there any questions or comments from members pertaining to the recommendations? Seeing none, can I have a motion to accept all recommendations?
Madam Chair, before we do make that motion, I would like to move that on number 2, that we delete the second occurrence where it reads current CCAP eligibility.
Okay, a motion to accept that change. Can I find a motion?
Motion to accept that change.
And a second? All right, all in favor say aye. Any approved? Motion passes. Okay, so back to my last motion. Motion to accept all recommendations as amended.
So moved.
Okay, all in favor say aye. All opposed? Motion passes to accept all recommendations as amended. Thank you all. Can I offer any final words or comments from committee members before we adjourn for our final meeting? Okay. Senator Carroll.
Yeah. Madam Chair, I just for those who have participated in this process, I can't thank you enough. Those who have provided input. This process is not over by any means. We will continue meetings on this topic. We will work through the next interim in some capacity to make sure that we're prepared for the next budget session. We all realize that there will likely be funding requirements needed for whatever changes that we're making, and we need to get down a little further in the weeds in some areas that we've covered through this task force. So don't think that this is over. It is not. We will continue. It will be in more of an informal capacity from between now and the next budget session. And again, thank you all for your participation and input. It's been frustrating at some levels, and it's been very rewarding at some other levels. I've learned a lot through this and still have a lot more to learn, but we're going to get there, and I do appreciate your patience and support.
Okay, do I need a motion to adjourn? All right, we are adjourned. Thank you all so much for your participation.